It's raining and I'm bored. So you're going to get a lot of posts. Let's talk a little bit about Stoicism. What is a Stoic? In an effort to not get too into it, modern day society would look at someone that's Stoic and label them cold, cruel even, lack of emotion, compassion, empathy. But that same person that said all those words, if they were accused of something that they didn't do, they would want no one but the Stoic to be the judge. Because the Stoic doesn't give a fuck. A Stoic doesn't look at people's personalities, people's intentions, their hearts. A Stoic looks at information and without bias passes the judgment based on this information. So if you indeed were wrongly accused of something, a Stoic would be able to pick that up. You see, as people, mostly, we have this sensitive side, a soft spot for other people. We feel bad for them. We know that we are better off, stronger, smarter, so we do things to, quote unquote, help them. But what most people fail to realize is that these ideas that I'm bringing to you aren't new. They've been around for quite some time. And there's a lot of people on this planet that were existing and still are, and will continue to exist, that invest a lot of time and effort on studying these exact principles with an intention of using them against people that don't study these principles. So, like, what is a confidence man? A con man. I don't know if you know it, but con man stands for the word confidence. Why is he called a confidence man? Well, because his entire task is to build confidence in you, of him. When someone has enough confidence that a person would not do anything to harm them or do something that's intentionally malicious, they will pretty much give that person anything. So if I tell you that this hair dryer is worth $300 and you believe me, you will pay $300 for a $25 hair dryer. That was literally a scene from a movie of Matchstick Men, which was a movie about two con men. They say keep your friends close and your enemies closer. How do you do that exactly? Who is your friend? Who is your enemy? How can you know if all these people are so good at faking? Well, as it turns out, as many people as study these concepts of lying and manipulating and cheating, a lot of them are not very good at it. And the way to catch that is you have to catch them at a moment where they're not expecting to use these techniques. For example, a way to determine if someone is your friend is to tell them a piece of bad news. See how they react. A person that truly cares about you will listen. They will listen and they will not interrupt. They will not tell you how stupid you are or how much of a mistake you've made, and then, or even worse, go for a story that is about them. Now, they committed something that was way worse and you're lucky to have been there. That's not your friend. And even if he is your friend or she, they don't really give a shit about you. Somebody that cares about you, if you tell them bad news, they will help you and they will listen. And they will ask you, what do you need? Because sometimes, actually, in my experience, most of the time, when people tell me bad news, they don't want to hear a solution. They don't want to hear what their problem was, and they definitely don't want to hear your hindsight. Sometimes, most times, when people tell you bad news, they want you to sit beside them and tell the world to go fuck itself. And that is one of the best reassurances somebody that gives somebody else bad news can get, is that someone else to sit down next to them and ask them, how loud do you want me to scream, fuck you world? Now, oddly enough, telling someone good news is even more of a sign of whether they're your friend or not, because most people will just be jealous. Say, oh, I'm glad for you, yay. True friend, one that cares about you, will ask you how you want to celebrate. But you got to do something. What the fuck? You just graduated, you got into med school? Full scholarship? Are you kidding me? In my mind, I'm thinking, this bitch. No. Holy shit, that's fucking awesome. What do you want to do? Let's go. I mean, I don't have that much money, but it's on me, whatever. Let's do, I got this. That's a friend. Those are the people you want to keep around you. I heard that today, and it really resonated with me, because the people you want around you are the people that you want to want the best for the best part of you. So if you're good at manipulation and lying and dark psychology, and you have people around you that want you to succeed in this, true friend probably wouldn't talk to you if all of a sudden you started doing that. They would just kind of like be upset. And if you told them good news, like I quit drinking, they'd be like, let's go celebrate. Let's get wasted. No, I'm kidding. They wouldn't drink when you're around just because they respect your beliefs. Now, how do you respect someone who's 8 years old, for instance? There's a way to do that, There's a way to build respect inside yourself for someone else without them even being there. Let me give you an example. My 8-year-old, not on this path, but a different path, much like this, told me that, actually, let's walk there. Well, we're walking this path once, and she tells me, Dad, these rocks are lava. These other rocks are not lava. You can't step in lava because you'll die. I'm like, okay. So 1 time, 2 times, I, follow the thing, and then we're walking like a week later or something like that on this path, and I step on one of these rocks, and she goes, what are you doing? You can't step on this. It's lava. It's right here. So the big rocks are lava. The little rocks are not. I can't step on that because I'll die. So how do I show or build respect for that human being when they're not around? By doing this. I don't step on the big rocks ever, at all, whether she's here or not, whether it's raining, snowing, icy. Excuse me. I don't step on the big rocks because she genuinely believed, and she asked me to do something for her, as mundane as it seems. To that person, that mundane task can mean the world. And you might not know about it. Because, for instance, if you're an Aries, right? And the other person is, let's say, a Libra, who's very empathic and very, very caring. And as an Aries, you really just don't care about much except for yourself. They tell you a story about how their hedgehog died. Hedgehog is a little fucker. And you're like, dude, it's a hedgehog. Who gives a fuck? What are you talking about? And then she blows up. She yells at you and she leaves, storms out. And you're sitting yourself thinking, what the fuck did I say? Well, to her, that hedgehog is everything. To her, that hedgehog meant something. So for you to shrug it off because you're an Aries and you could do things like that, that's not what she wanted. She wanted you to say, let's call the fucking veterinarian's office that gave him the wrong diagnosis. That's what being a friend is about. That's what demonstrating respect towards a person is. No matter how good of a manipulator or a liar or cheater or confidence man you might be, those instances always reveal your true self. And like I said, it has to happen when you're not paying attention to them. So for all the confidence men listening to this, be wary of those situations, because that's when you have to have the biggest poker face. My daughter and I had a little secret between us. She did something she wasn't supposed to do. And I said, as long as you reverse the gesture, I won't say anything. Just do the right thing. And before she got a chance to, I was talking to someone else that would have really, really blown up if they found out. And I made a joke using the same thing. So for example, like, I'm not going to tell you what happened, but let's say she stole a Barbie. And I told her to put it back. So we're talking, and I said, I'll bet you a Barbie doll that this won't happen. and the three of us are in the room, and you see my 8-year-old's face like, and the other person didn't know, they just thought I was talking shit. So I told my 8-year-old, listen, you like that joke I made? She goes, dude, are you kidding me? You told me you weren't going to tell anybody. I was like, I didn't tell anybody. Nobody knows. You're the only person that knows. But the face that you made exposed you to where that person didn't know. Now they know. Yes, it was my fault. I caused the situation as a catalyst, but you have to pay attention. If you're going to do something that's secretive and wrong, might as well do it right. Because doing the wrong thing right is terrible still, but you know, if you're gonna lie, fucking lie, bro. If you're gonna steal, fucking steal. If you're gonna believe in the devil, believe in the devil. Don't kind of do anything, because kind of doing anything is not doing shit. A life of almost is a life of never. Remember that. Dimitri. See you soon.